As part of this topic, I'll demonstrate how to integrate Postgres with JupyterLab so that we can write queries without writing any code using Jupyter-based environment itself. Whether you set up JupyterLab on GCP or Cloud9, as long as the operating system is Ubuntu, you can follow these instructions and take care of integrating JupyterLab with Postgres. Using JupyterLab or Jupyter Notebook is optional to practice SQL. You can leverage SQL Workshop or pSQL to practice. However, using pSQL is a bit tricky and can take away a considerable amount of time. With SQL Workbench, you will get almost the same experience. However, with JupyterLab, you can interact with not only Postgres but also Python and other programming languages as well. JupyterLab is one of the effective environments where you can actually practice SQL. However, to integrate Postgres with JupyterLab, we need additional libraries to be set up as part of the Jupyter environment. Then only the integration can happen. We need to have Python 3 installed, and also by now we should have JupyterLab set up. Also, Docker should be up and running because we will be using Postgres as part of the Docker itself. Once JupyterLab is set up, we need to install the following to leverage Jupyter-based notebooks to practice SQL. It is nothing but IPython SQL. For that, we have to activate the virtual environment. Let me go to the Cloud9 instance here. If you are using GCP, you should be connecting to your Ubuntu-based VM on GCP, and you can follow the similar instructions. First, confirm the folder in which you have virtual environment. In my case, it is DE Lab. Based upon your system, based upon the name you have given, you have to use the cd command to get into that folder. You should be seeing virtual environment if you set up properly. My virtual environment name is nothing but dlab-venv. We have to activate this. Let's activate this virtual environment here. Now the virtual environment is activated. Next thing we need to do is we need to install Postgres common so that we have pSQL to connect to the Postgres database as well. It is primarily to connect to the Postgres using pSQL. It is optional, however, it is better to install so that you can leverage pSQL command as well. So let me run these four lines. The first one is primarily to add the Postgres related libraries to Ubuntu repositories. Let me paste this here. You can see that the Postgres related details are added to the Ubuntu repositories. Once it is added, we should be able to add the key as well. Once the key is added, we should be able to update our kernel by running this. It will take care of updating the kernel. Once it is done, we should be able to install PostgreSQL common. Unless you have this PostgreSQL common, you will not be able to use pSQL command. I just want to make sure that we have pSQL as well. That's why I'm running this. Now let me paste it here and hit enter. Now PostgreSQL common is being installed. You can validate whether pSQL is available or not by saying pSQL like this. You can see that it is available. It is not saying no such command found. It is actually throwing some other error, which means pSQL is available on this machine. Now we have to install these binaries. The first one is IPython SQL. It is primarily to provide SQL magic for our Jupyter. That's why we have to install this. You can copy paste this. Also, to connect to databases like Postgres, we need to have SQL Alchemy. SQL Alchemy is nothing but a Python-based library to connect to RDBMS databases or several other databases as well. To confirm whether SQL Alchemy is available or not, you can actually say pip list like this. It will list all the libraries that are installed here. You can see SQL Alchemy here. SQL Alchemy might have installed as part of installing JupyterLab itself. You don't need to install, but if you do not find SQL Alchemy here, you must install SQL Alchemy as well. Then only it will work. You will be able to connect to databases using JupyterLab. If you do not have SQL Alchemy, you will not be able to connect to databases using JupyterLab or Jupyter Notebook. Now we need to have this additional library. This is client library related to Python to connect to Postgres database. PsycopG2 is nothing but Postgres client library with Python. Now you can hit enter. You have to install binary, not the PsycopG2 alone. Binary will include additional operating system level libraries as well. If you just install PsycopG2 without binary, then you might not be able to connect to the database. Make sure you install PsycopG2-binary on Ubuntu. Now you should be able to validate whether the database is up and running as part of the Docker container or not by running this docker ps command. Let me just run docker ps command. You can see that it is up and running. If you don't see this entry here with itv_pg as name, then you have to run ps-a. It will confirm whether the container itself is created or not. As of now, container is created and also started, and hence we can move on. If it is not started, but if the container already exists, you can use this command called as docker start, and you can provide the name of the container, and the container will be started for you. Now we have to connect to the database. We can copy this and paste it here. Using Docker CLI, we are able to connect to a Postgres database. It is better to have a database and a user to validate the integration between JupyterLab and Postgres. For that reason, I am first creating the database. The database name is nothing but demo_db. Let me run this. Now the database is created. Now I am creating user by name demo_user with password demo_password. Let me paste this. Now I am able to create the user as well. We need to grant all the permissions on the database to this user so that we can create tables, drop tables, load data into the tables, run queries against the tables, etc. We'll be pasting this as well. It will take care of granting all the permissions on this database to this user. Now we can come out of this by saying / and q. Now we have a Postgres database by name demo_db where demo_user have all the permissions on it. Now we have to start JupyterLab. We should be able to run this. Now JupyterLab is started successfully. We should be able to connect to this using public DNS of the EC2 instance that is associated with this Cloud9 instance. For that, I can go to EC2 Management Console, select the appropriate instance, and then get the public DNS from here. Also, we need to ensure that firewall rule is opened. Let's go to security. The reason why I might not have the firewall rule is because I'm playing with this quite a lot. You can see that the firewall rule is not opened for 8888. Let me add it here. You should be having already by now. In case if you do not have, you need to add the firewall rule like this. It has to be my IP, save rules. Now I should be able to go to EC2 here. Let me click on this. Let me go to details. Let me get the public IP for DNS. Let me open another tab and then say :8888. Hit enter. Now I am able to connect to the JupyterLab that is running on my Cloud9 instance in AWS. Now I should be able to get the token from here, paste it here, login. Now I am able to log in into the JupyterLab environment. Now let me create a notebook. Let me rename it as validate DB connectivity. Once it is renamed, we should be able to add these 3 code snippets. Let me copy this, paste it here, add one more cell. Let me copy this, paste it here. Let's add one more cell. Let's go here, copy this, paste it here. So we are trying to connect to the database by name demo_db using demo_user, and then we are running a simple query called as select current date. Now let's run this. It is required to load SQL Magic. This will take care of setting the environment variable so that we can use SQL Alchemy under the hood to connect to the database. We don't need to write any code. We just have to set this environment variable. It will internally use SQL Alchemy to connect to the database. Now we are not sure whether it is connected to the database or not. If the query runs successfully, then we are connected to the database. If it fails, that means we are not connected to the database. Now let's run this. You can see that the query ran successfully and we are able to see the today's date, which means we are able to connect to Postgres database using JupyterLab. This is how you should be able to integrate JupyterLab with Postgres using Ubuntu as operating system. You need to make sure the virtual environment is activated. You have to make sure additional libraries such as IPython SQL are installed, and also we need to confirm whether SQL Alchemy is there or not. You need to have a database in Postgres. Once you have the database, you can start the JupyterLab and then set this environment variable after loading the SQL Magic, and then you can start running queries against the databases against which you are connected to. Make sure you are comfortable with this so that you can follow the content with ease as you get into database essentials with SQL using Postgres.